What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping in. Today, we have an exciting new knife to take a look at coming in from Fintiso Knives. Huge shout out to them for sending this in. This is called the Fintiso Apollo. And right now, they are running a massive sale on their website and on Amazon. I'll have all that stuff linked down below in the description. I believe I have a coupon code for their website. If I do, I'll have that down there as well. If you like knives and EDC, you're in the right spot. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel because I release daily videos. And if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. That helps push this out there to more people. And feel free to let us know what you are carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys and seeing what you're carrying for the day. So with the Fintiso Atlas here, we are looking at a sale price of $36, which is absolutely insane. And you might be thinking, well, what am I going to get for that? D2? No, you're going to be getting 14C 28N steel, and that is a great stainless steel. And Fintiso does their 14C very well. As a matter of fact, that is what they have used across their entire catalog up until a new version, which they just made more premium. They used S35 for that. They have been using 14C the entire time, and they've been doing it very well. Now we have a fairly cool looking blade shape here. When the blade starts, we have this ramp with some nice jimping, and then the cutout is a different style of cutout. You can kind of see it has this point there in the middle. And then we roll into this swedge, and it is a wide, long swedge, and it just gives this blade a nice characteristic. We have a black wash finish on here. It is not needed for the 14C 28N because it is a very corrosion resistant steel, but it does add a little bit of protection for the steel. Now, this is one of their original models. We haven't checked out this G10 version yet. I love the F on the pivot. I think eventually they'll do away with the Fintiso on the blade and just leave the F, but not a deal breaker by any stretch. We have semi-contoured handles here. They are G10 and they are finished very, very nicely. We have a lanyard hole running from show side to clip side. And then we have a geared G10 backspacer here. We have a right hand carry only milled pocket clip, and we'll be checking that to see what it looks like in the pocket. We do have a nice chamfer on the show side here. That's going to allow us to get to that liner. And they do chamfer and jimp that liner. So that is going to be easy to get to and very comfortable to disengage. Now, going to that ramp there, that is excellent execution for this knife. Between the flipper and that jimping, it locks you in and you just have a ton of control and comfort over this entire knife. It is a great spot to grip this knife. You can cheat up onto that flipper tab there for a lighter, lighter duty task, something that's not quite as robust, just lighter duty. You won't want to get into anything too rough there, but you can get up on there. It's softened down. Nothing's going to really be affecting, pointing into your finger. And it's just it's not a large knife either. We'll go ahead and check some of the specs. As far as our overall length, we are looking at 8 inches on the nose, 3.5 inches of cutting edge, and same for our total blade. We'll put up a couple of comparisons here. We have the Vostede Raccoon up top and the Drop Bear down here on the bottom. And the Fintiso Atlas is going to be a lot larger than the Drop Bear and quite a bit bigger than the Raccoon. I think a good matchup will be the Militol here. That is actually a good choice for a similar design as well. but they are going to be almost identical in their length and how they'll probably feel in hand to you. A little bit different as far as the neutrality of the Militals handle, but they will feel and be about the same in hand. So we'll grab our Issuing Stitches Hank here and check this thing in the pocket. And I think I said milled steel clip earlier. I do remember that I think this is aluminum. And I think this is the only model that they did aluminum on the pocket clip. It's not titanium. I think this was their first design that they did this, and maybe their first design period. After this, they switched over to steel. Now, I don't know, there's not a ton of pocket clips out there with aluminum, but with this being a milled aluminum clip and at the length that it's at, I guess time will tell, but I don't foresee. I know aluminum will bend easier than steel, right? But I think the design of this, I think it'll be just fine. You know, we get a little too intricate with how that'll hold up. Of course, we don't want it just coming out of our pocket, and if it gets snagged, we don't want the clip bending and stuff like that. But, I think this will be just fine. It's got good spring in there, and I haven't had any issues with the other version of the Apollo that I've checked out. The other really cool thing about Fintiso and why give them a shot is not only are their prices good, and their materials are also very good. They, like I said, use 14C, and 80% of their models come in aluminum. More models come in aluminum than G10, which is pretty cool, and it's usually contoured aluminum, and they do a really good job at finishing it. But the coolest thing is they run their 14C at 60 to 62, which is prime time. 58 to 62 for 14C is, golden. And they are really hitting the mark with their 14C, which makes it, very adequate, especially at $35. 14C is used in this price range all the way up to, I've seen 14C at $150, $160. So that tells you how good 14C is, and that tells you how good of a value this knife is. Now, as far as the weight goes with this knife, we do have full steel liners. We have nice G10 handles and the back spacer there. It feels pretty healthy. I'm going to say it's tough. Let's say I want to go 4-1 or 3-9. Let's do 4-1. Oh! Right in the middle at 4. Nice. Okay, so it's going to be right at that weight where you feel like you have a substantial tool in your hand. There's always a place for lightweight knives, but I would say for the majority of the time, I want something that's 3.5 ounces or more. Just so that way you feel like you have a dependable tool in your hand. Check this edge possibly here. Like that. It feels good here and up here, but right there in the middle, or maybe it's just me, it's got a nice edge on it. Feels goofy right there, or maybe it's just how it feels good. Shaving the skin off my finger. Probably just me. we'll go ahead and check our liner here. Keep in mind we have a coated blade, we have a coated liner, and we have seen coatings wreak havoc on our locks and our knives failing. So that is something to keep in mind, and we will be looking at what looks to be about 50% lockup or so. So a pretty good lockup in regards to this liner lock here. No detent lash, which is very good. We have no pivot lashing in there. And we do a soft open, and it looks like the lockout goes right to that same area, and it feels nice and solid, which is exactly what we want. So let's see what we have. Very good. Good. That's what we want to see right there. And Fintiso is, I think, 8 for 8 with me. They haven't had a single knife fail on the lockup. And this one was the first one that wasn't like cutting through the telephone book paper like hot butter. The last 6 came out of the box impressively sharp. So I think this one, we can check it again on a piece of paper, but either which way, that 14C they're doing is going to be extremely easy to touch up and get a hair shaving edge on it. If you haven't checked out a Fintiso knife yet and you routinely dabble in the $30 to $50 range, highly recommend just checking out their knives, seeing what they have. If you like button locks, they have several of those. They have liner locks, all kinds of different blade shapes. Nice little catalog going for such a new company. They've maybe been around for like a year, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Either way, they haven't been around that long. And as a matter of fact, they have come from the first designs I checked out, which was a different Apollo, all the way through their entire catalog, and they just put out a new knife called the Parrot, which is phenomenal. They have just grown every single time, and the knives have gotten even better. Just better build quality, better QC, just a little bit more. The details that go into pocket knives, they've just gotten better at that, and it's really shown in their folders. And that's not taking anything away from this knife right here that you can get at $35. It's just saying that, good knives, you can have good knives and you can have a huge scale that goes all the way up to exceptional, right? And even though they have better knives than this one, this is still a great knife, especially at the price of like $35. If you just need a regular old, if you're not looking for anything extravagant, you don't want to spend a ton of money, this would be a really good option to take a look at. You can get your fidget on with it with the cutout and the flipper. You have the liner lock, which will be very easy to disengage. This is kind of a knife for anyone. Very easy to deploy the blade with the flipper and the cutout. Very comfortable handle. Might be a little large for some people, and for others, it'll be absolutely perfect. But you guys will have to let me know. What do you think of Fintiso? And if you have any experience with any of their knives, I'd love to hear what you have to say. I always love hearing from you guys, no matter what it is, down there in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video to more people. If you're new to my channel, I release daily knife and EDC content just like this. Make sure you're subscribed and you ring that bell. That'll notify you anytime I release new content. I'll put a couple of new videos up on your screen. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.